Wrestling Reverb is a part of the Pulse Podcast Network. Pulse Podcast Network provides you with the best variety of podcasts on the web, from sports such as the WWE and NBA, all the way through to Dungeons & Dragons podcasts and anything in between. Head on over to pulsepodcastnetwork.com, or you can download the Pulse Podcast app, which is available on both Apple devices and Android devices. Guys, Wrestling Reverb is, of course, a part of the Pulse Podcast Network, and the Pulse Podcast Network now has an official ticket provider, TixBlitz. Take a listen to this.
Have you been searching for the best ticket deals around? Well, look no further. With TixBlitz, the price you see is the price you pay, and TixBlitz just happens to have over $6 billion in ticket inventory just waiting for you. They absolutely mean it when they say every ticket, every venue, everywhere. And you can save even more with promo code PULSE in all caps to save you 5% off your total purchase. Just go to TixBlitz.com and click the search bar. Search events based on your geographic location, pick the show you want, and bam, it's showtime. Sporting events, Broadway shows, concerts, and more with TixBlitz.com. And while you're there, be sure to sign up for the email newsletter so you can stay up to date on the latest news and savings with TixBlitz. That's TixBlitz.com. TixBlitz.com. Every ticket, every venue, everywhere.
Guys, that's how easy it is with TixBlitz.com, the official ticket provider for the Pulse Podcast Network, and just use the code PULSE in all caps to get 5% off.
Hello?
Is Wrestling Reverb.
Hello everyone, welcome to a very special edition of Wrestling Reverb. The Elimination Chamber is this weekend. We're going to lay down some Elimination Chamber predictions. But first, of course, Kevin is here after our little rant the other day. Kevin, how are you feeling?
I feel a lot better after I got all that off of my chest, and now I can focus on Elimination Chamber, a very droll pay-per-view that I'm not really even looking forward to that much, but I digress.
Me too. Now, Kevin, we kind of knew that we're going to do a prediction show. Of course, it's the pay-per-view this weekend. But originally, we had one guest. We'll let him do his introduction as first. First, we announced Fowl. So, Fowl, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Josh. Thank you, Kevin, for inviting me to the show tonight. I'm very well. My name is Fowl Original. I'm at Fowl_Original on the Twitters. Find me on the YouTubes, youtube.com/Fowl Original Wrestling. And I did an Elimination Chamber preview prediction show yesterday, but this one is going to be much, much better because I hear theories are about.
Speaking of theories, so in the last hour, this became official. It was it was just something that just needed to happen. We have a very special second guest. Now, the Ruthless Aggression Podcast. Come on, guys. They're my OG guys. Levi is here. Levi, how are you doing?
I'm back. I'm better than ever. I'm great. I pretty much was just messaging Josh, and I was like, when are we going to work this out? And he says, man, I really don't want you on the show. What the heck are you doing here? I'm like, please, get me on. I hear Nibia is here. And he's like, okay, fine. You can come on. And so really, I'm just here to bury Fowl Original. That dude is just trying to steal my gimmick of being the coolest podcaster out there. But so I'm here to stop him.
Now, guys,
Fowl is number one.
Guys,
cool announcer, podcaster.
I'm gonna bury you. Step in the ring.
This is going to be an experience that I've never had before hosting something. Kevin, I am going to need your help as much as I possibly can to keep these two civil today.
Well, there's only so much I can do, you know? We're gonna try to keep it on the rails, but if we go off the rails a little bit, so be it.
Who cares?
The podcast
honestly.
too big for WrestleMania.
It'll be an experience for our listeners. It'll be quite the journey.
Hey, and everyone,
You want to take a trip on Space Mountain? That's totally fun.
Listen, everyone. Elimination Chamber isn't the most exciting pay-per-view ever. If you get bored with the Chamber, just listen to this show when you're watching the Elimination Chamber. It'll probably be way more fun. Listen, I'm not sponsored by WWE. I'm not sponsored by WWE Network. I don't have to be nice if I don't want to.
That's true. That's true. We can say whatever the hell we want on here.
Hey, but if
And we
they're
can try
looking,
to be nice.
hey, if they're looking to sponsor some people, me and Kevin, we got you though. We love WWE, don't we, Kevin?
Oh, yes. I will gladly accept that sponsorship and say nothing but nice things about the WWE. As it stands, we don't have it, so I'm going to say what I want. This Elimination Chamber pay-per-view just has 0% interest with me.
That's fair. I'm only excited for the Chamber matches. I think they'll be fine. We'll get to the card in a minute, but we'll start with you, Fowl. How do you feel going into this pay-per-view? Are you excited?
Well, we very briefly said in the pre-chat, like, I'm really excited for the women's tag team chamber. I'm really excited for the men's chamber. That's about it. Like, it's just, like, I look at the card, and I mean, I don't want to kind of jump ahead, but I mean, Corbin versus Strowman at a pay-per-view.
Yep.
Why? Like, I know that there's
Once in a
like,
lifetime,
this will be
baby.
yeah. It's been a long time in the making, but just come on. I feel bad for Strowman and Corbin for a bit. So like, but other than that, the rest of the match, I was really impressed by the women's chamber match last year, so I'm really looking forward to that.
That's fair. Levi, what is your excitement level here? Are you kind of on the same page, or are you just not keen at all?
Oh, written in the stars, a million miles away. Oh man, this is the pinnacle. Who needs WrestleMania? You got freaking Elimination Chamber with Buddy Murphy, Akira Tozawa. Yeah, what more do you want? What more do you want? Bobby Lashley, Finn Balor. Yeah. This is good. This is good.
Now, Levi,
Levi,
come on now. I'm a fellow Australian. You can't be throwing Buddy Murphy at me like that. Come on now.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Okay, in all seriousness, that match will probably be good.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. I think the card is probably a little better than we give it credit for. Now,
Probably.
there are some stinkers on it, such as the aforementioned Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin. It probably has potential to surprise us. We will see. But I don't know. I think it might be a sleeper. But
It really could
on
be.
paper, it's kind of like not really doing it for me.
I get that. I mean, there's 7 matches on the card at the point of this recording. We'll probably get 1 or 2 more over the next couple of days, I'm sure. Something for the kickoff. I don't know. But in WWE land, 7 matches is not going to stick. They're going to at least get to 9, probably. But Kevin, we've talked about the oversaturation of WWE pay-per-views before. We talked about it in our last show. But the number of matches on this card, do you really see it staying at 7 matches?
No, I don't. I think they're going to add at least one more on just on a whim over the next day or two. Because, yeah, you're right, 7. Obviously, they're going to let the chamber matches go longer.
Yeah.
So they're not going to want to have a hugely stacked card, but 7 is an odd number. You don't ever see a show, no matter whether it's WrestleMania, Elimination Chamber, Fastlane, Great Balls of Fire, any of those other stupid pay-per-views from over the years.
Great Balls
7.
of Fire. Wow.
Suddenly cited Great Balls of Fire in a list of pay-per-views on the WWE. It does stick in your brain, though, doesn't it? It sticks in your brain.
It does. Honestly, I'll never forget it. Great Balls of Fire.
Me either.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
something
know.
you don't forget, I would think.
Yeah.
Lest we forget.
Balls that are on
History
fire.
will
you
repeat
just-
itself.
You remember that sort of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Your balls are on fire greatly. And it's on the WWE Network. It's only $9.99 a month.
That joke was foul. An original foul.
Oh,
joke.
thank you. That's the only reason this name was ever made.
Holy God. This is... all right. All right. We'll go with Levi first on this first match. We got The Miz and Shane McMahon versus the Usos for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Levi, firstly, who's walking out with the SmackDown Tag Team Championships in this one?
Well, the only way the Usos are walking out of here with the tag titles is if Jimmy Uso walks out of jail in time for the pay-per-view. Is it Jimmy or Jay? I forget which one it is.
It's Jimmy.
Jimmy Uso.
Kevin always prints it on the Topps card.
Looks at notes. Jimmy, that's it. So, I mean, for real, like, does what happened today change the outcome here, or
I mean, it could.
is he going to be punished? Yeah. So, but if we are looking at it as if nothing happened, I would have to say the Miz and Shane eke out a win. Whether that, I mean, they're the best in the world. First of all,
obviously,
they have the trophy to prove it. And I would say, this is, as far as kayfabe goes, there's a story being created here. And at this moment in time, I don't think there's anything for the Usos because they've just kind of been stale for the past several months, in my opinion. And that's not to say that they're terrible. There just hasn't been anything for them. So, except for the whole Mandy Rose and Naomi thing, you had that involvement. But still, that was a minor character in the party. So,
I get that.
Yeah.
Kevin, what's your kind of thoughts going into this one? Is Levi right? Does that change the fact what happened with Jimmy Uso in the last few hours?
I don't know. Look at it like this. Last year, sort of around this time, Jey Uso got pegged with a DWI, a driving while intoxicated offense.
Oh yeah.
And then the Usos went ahead. I think it was like 10 days later, and defended the SmackDown tag titles. So we don't really know if they're gonna change. It makes it. You think they would? You think that would be a punishable offense for Jimmy to be fighting a cop? But I don't know, because it might not be as bad an offense as the DWI is in the grand scheme of things, and that didn't seem to make a difference last year.
True.
I think that even with this most recent development, I'm going to go with the Usos. I think that they're telling a story with Miz and Shane that they have to sort of kickstart. I know on our show where we talked about possible WrestleMania cards. And I think Josh and I were in agreement that Miz and Shane would be a WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
I think this is how you start that process, is you have to have them drop the titles. And I don't want to see them with the titles anyway, because Shane McMahon holding a championship belt in the year 2019 is like somebody's worst nightmare.
What can you add to this one, Fowl? What's going in your mind with the SmackDown Tag Team Championships?
Well, looking at the last match that happened, Shane McMahon pulled off a goddamn shooting star press. Like, you know what? That sold at least Shane deserving that title. Like, I know that it's not the best, it's not the opinion that everyone will hold, but them holding the gold it's a decent story. Like, and I wouldn't want to see Shane versus Miz because that's wasting a spot on the card. At least give him a chance to have a tag team match. Lose that tag team title at WrestleMania. Take this story the whole way there, that they happen to win, because Miz seems to kind of be turning face, like kind of, and it's a bit of a weird story. And with the news about the Usos, I kind of totally agree with Kevin talking about last year and what happened with the Usos. It didn't really affect them. And where we are now with AEW, I don't think that McMahon would want to give him an excuse. I don't think they were ever meant to win the titles on that night. It's just a team that they can go up against that can carry them to a really good match. I think it'll be an all right match, but no titles are changing hands.
Well, see, I don't have a problem with Shane McMahon versus The Miz, but I don't think they lose the titles here. I think they lose the titles at Fastlane because we still have that other pay-per-view to get to before WrestleMania. So I think Miz and Shane retain against the Usos here. Whether they work the Usos again at Fastlane or not is another question, but I don't think they lose them here. I'm thinking Miz and Shane win. I agree on the sense it'll probably be... It could really surprise us, this match, because the Usos are great, Miz is great, Shane can hold his own in the sense of, with, people that can go around him. So, it really could be a good match, but I'm not expecting huge things from it. But Miz and Shane, I think, retain in this one. Is there anything else anyone wants to add to that?
Agree.
I'm the loner here, then.
Yeah, Kevin's the loner. Like, let's just let's see how we go in the next one.
I would say, Josh, that I agree with you in the sense that I would not mind seeing Shane versus Miz.
Yeah.
Because I think there's an element that is kind of passing us by here with the Miz's father, and Solomonster has been saying for a while that his dad would make a great character, and I'm just like, I think WWE is kind of utilizing that too by bringing him in the ring and stuff, and being like, "Oh, I love you, Miz, you're my boy," and stuff like that. And I think there might be some elements here. I think we are about to gear up for a good story between these two. There's already been, in my opinion, a pretty good story to be told, but I feel like there's more here that we're going to get.
Yeah.
So whether that's mixing in old Father Miz, or if that's not, or if they're just going to turn on each other, who knows? I think we're in for a treat.
I do too. I think yeah.
I think Father Miz with the hip crushing finale. I'm going to get all the stuff in there. I'm getting them all in before Levi gets a chance.
See, I wasn't even going to go.
You want
there,
to talk about Imperium?
Foul strikes again, stealing my thunder. That's okay. I'll be the baby face. You be the heel at heel Fowl Original. Gotta get my heat, baby. Gotta talk trash on Twitter. Yeah, I see ya.
I'll get pushed as much as Ziggler as well.
Kevin just like the enhancement talent at this point. Like, are we just?
I'm just sitting back and letting it go.
I was hoping Kevin to be my tag team partner, and we could take on Shane and the Miz, that sort of thing.
You can do that. I don't even wait.
We'll be the tag team champions.
But you won't be the best tag team in the world. You will not be the best tag team in the world, though. You can't. It's just,
oh yeah, that's right.
It's sorry.
It's already a thing. Yeah.
My
bad.
Moving on. This one we briefly mentioned it. I know we're going to probably stick some time into this one. Braun Strowman, Baron Corbin. Per the McMahon family, it's now a no disqualification match. Let's start with Kevin. Kevin, what the shit is going on here?
That's like the best possible way you could have phrased that question, is because I have this is A, this is shit, and B, I don't really know what's going on. All I know is this. Them adding that no disqualification stipulation definitely helps.
Yes.
Because we could just get Braun beating the holy hell out of Corbin. I don't see it really going any other way, unless the only thing I could see is if Corbin has help from, like, say, Drew McIntyre, who's not on this card somehow. So he might have some help, but overall, at the end of the day, I think Braun Strowman's going to win the match. I think it could be good. I also think it could be a match where the fans are disinterested, and I'm disinterested, and it just is it's sort of there.
Yeah. Yep. So you think Braun wins? Then?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I think Braun wins.
Foul. What?
Yes.
I'm gonna just ask this all three ways. What the shit is going on?
What shit is going on? Why is, like, I wanted to, this particular match, it just shows how much Braun Strowman's stock has dropped. in the space of like 2 months. Like, he's gone from being the potential man to take the title off Lesnar to being in a match against Corbin, potentially on the pre-show, for no reason other than what apparently crown jewel stuff. Like, I don't understand this match. It's going to be I think it's going to be a squash. I think it's just going to be Braun Strowman's going to go out there and just sit on Baron Corbin, and that'll be it. Because the thing is who benefits in this match? Neither man benefits from a win in this match. Both men lose a lot from losing in this match, but neither man benefits. So it just seems like a bit of a way to keep Strowman on the card and to keep Corbin relevant. I'm thinking that Strowman wins it, but only because why wouldn't he? Unless pure shenanigans.
Yep. Yep. Levi, let's just keep it going. What the shit is going on here?
Well, I see this going one of two ways. The first one being this be a squash between Braun and Baron, and simply being that Baron destroys Braun, of course. No, I'm just playing. that Braun destroys Baron Corbin. Does his little laps around the ring. Get these hands and 1, 2, 3. Rest history. Or a more interesting option, because I think it's pretty much 99% guaranteed. I mean, anything can happen, but pretty much guaranteed that the women's triple threat will be main eventing WrestleMania at this point. Yeah. So, what's Braun going to do in the meantime? Because we have Seth versus Brock for the Universal title, and SmackDown's title, whatever. So, what does Braun have to do? What does Baron have to do? And we need to fill up spots on the card, correct? So, that being said, I think that there's going to be some shenanigans, as aforementioned, from one Drew McIntyre, who also has nothing going on. And we're going to see possibly maybe Kurt Angle get in the mix, because he doesn't have a match on this card. And we're probably seeing something, Elimination Chamber, this is probably, this is just getting us to WrestleMania. This is not so much a standalone, like everything's culminating here. Stuff's going to be continued on the Raw following, and this is gearing up to WrestleMania. So that's the way I see it.
Yeah, I see shenanigans. I see with the no disqualification thing, it has to be shenanigans. I see Braun 99.9% winning. I don't really have too much to add to that, because you kind of said it all. This has been going on for a long time, and it's kind of gotten nowhere. And I don't want to complain about it, but my God, I don't care.
Hey, we're wrestling podcasters. That's what we do. We complain about wrestling on our podcast.
I mean,
come on now.
To complain about it.
We hate everything.
Come on. You gotta complain.
If you complain, that's where the views come in.
Alrighty, now that
it's
we
all
got
about the Monday.
Oh boy.
A
Controversy creates
dose of poison.
Controversy creates cash. We're trying to clickbait our listeners. Do you understand? Clickbait equals revenue. Money. All about the money. We got to get it. So we got to say things contrary to what people like. Okay?
We should just mute everyone else except Levi and just let him go and just see how long he goes for.
No. I'm gonna tone it down. Wrestling Reverb listeners, don't worry. I'm not a hashtag takeover-ing the show. I'm gonna tone it back just a little bit. Okay, go.
Alrighty. Moving on from that shitstorm of Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman, let's move on to the Cruiserweight Championship. Buddy Murphy versus Akira Tozawa. Now, Kevin, we have talked about this. I have started to watch 205 Live on a very regular basis, and I'm starting to really love it. But I don't like Akira Tozawa. I'm not it's the one person on 205 Live where I'm really not keen on him. But I think this match could be pretty good. Kevin, Cruiserweight Championship, Buddy Murphy and Akira Tozawa. Are you excited for this one? And who's taken out the gold in this one?
Yeah, I'm excited. I love Akira Tozawa. I'm offended by what you just said. I'm fanning myself in disgust right now. But I think it's going to be a great match. As the Cruiserweight title matches always seem to be one of the matches you talk about most after the fact. If it's on the pre-show, we might talk about it a little bit less, and that's always a possibility with the Cruisers, even though I think Strowman Corbin is pre-show fodder. But if I had to pick, I would say Buddy Murphy is going to retain. I just don't feel like Tozawa's on the level to take the belt from him yet. I don't feel like anyone's on that level right now. Ever since Ali got caught up to SmackDown Live, I feel like that kind of hurt the Cruiserweights in a way because I don't think there's anyone worthy of taking the title from Buddy Murphy yet. Certainly, we've seen how they build superstars down there, and there's so much talent that there's easily someone that can come along and take that belt from him. But right now, I just don't see it. Maybe at WrestleMania, but as far as Elimination Chamber goes, I think Buddy Murphy retains.
Yeah, Levi, Buddy Murphy and Akira Tozawa. What's your kind of deal going into this? Are you interested in 205 Live, or is it something that you're just not really paying attention to?
I'm going to be honest. I have not seen one episode of 205 Live.
That's fair.
And it's because, general disinterest. I'm just like, okay, I don't really, I don't care about any of these wrestlers, apart from maybe Cedric Alexander and once upon a time TJ Perkins. I think TJ Perkins is kind of a weirdo now, but I won't get on that. I think Buddy Murphy is a solid hand because of his Survivor Series match with Mustafa Ali. I thought that was an absolute phenomenal match, and it showed that Buddy Murphy can go. And Buddy Murphy has brought, some prestige to that Cruiserweight title. And so despite me not watching, I know who the Cruiserweight champion is, and I know that he's been Cruiserweight champion for quite some time now.
Yes.
That being said, between the two, I don't see Buddy Murphy losing this match. And moreover, I think Akira Tozawa has a stupid face, so I don't really want him to win. So there we go.
So before we get to foul stuff, this just got announced for the kickoff show this weekend at Elimination Chamber. So it is on the kickoff. It's not really a huge shock. But taking that into account, Fowl, what's your kind of deal with this?
Well, I'm very similar to Levi in that I'm amazing, but also that I don't watch 205 Live that often. But I watched 205 Live. I tried to watch it after WrestleMania last year. I tried to give it a chance when it was kind of being rebranded. Drake Maverick came in. I was like, you know what? I want to give it a fair run. It doesn't grab me that much, but at every single pay-per-view, I look forward to the Cruiserweight match because it's normally one of the best of the night because they really care. It's just a shame that it's normally on the kickoff show and there aren't enough people there to see it. In this particular match, I don't really like Akira Tozawa either. Not because of any other reason, but I feel like his character, not because of his face, he's got a nice face, but
oh wow,
but it's more.
That's just a personal thing. I'm sorry, Akira fans. It's just my personal opinion.
That's just you. That's your opinion.
I feel like we all have that one wrestler though. There's just like I just don't like his face. Even Vince McMahon, he hated Christian's face, and everyone said, "What the heck's his problem?"
It's everybody's Christian. Everyone has a Christian. They'll find them one day.
He's my Christian.
But I'm cool.
Matt Riddle is that person for me. I hate looking at Matt Riddle. I hate Matt Riddle's face. I just hate looking at it.
See, I told you.
He's that person, and every time I see him, like, no, get away from me. I can't stand you. And he wears no shoes. Get some shoes on. It's gross.
I know his feet probably stink,
Oh. Anyway, we digress. Sorry, Fowl, for stealing your thunder there.
I do. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. There will be a receipt later. But like, what happened to this show?
This is like the best worst kind of prediction show ever, and I'm really digging it. Like, let's just go with it. Who else's face do we hate?
Yeah, Kevin, whose face do you hate, man? We haven't heard whose face you hate.
I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of Braun Strowman's face. I don't like it. I think it's too small. I think it's like bunched together. Like,
I totally get that. He's a baby face in the opposite meaning of the word, you know?
Kevin just made me cry face. Because Kevin's
like,
been
legit,
so quiet.
He looks like a baby without that beard.
What the friggin' hell are we talking about again?
Yeah. I'm bringing this back. So, Akira Tozawa, I like his face. And I think that Akira Tozawa is a good wrestler. He's a great guy. All right, I like him. But also, I think he's going to lose. Because Buddy Murphy is much, as people have said already, he's brought prestige back to the title. The matches that I've seen with Buddy Murphy, I've really cared for him, probably as much as like Cedric Alexander. He is a believable champion. And his work rate is great. He seems like a deserving champion as well, kind of like Mustafa Ali. Like, he's worked for it. So I think that he's going to retain. It's going to be a hell of a match. It will be better than Strowman versus Corbin, that's for sure. And yeah, I'm probably excited to see that match on the card.
Me too. I like Buddy Murphy. I think Buddy Murphy is going to retain. It'll probably be one of the better matches of the whole night, just in terms of wrestling-wise. But yeah, I don't see Tozawa picking this one up. It just seems weird if Buddy was to drop the title before Mania. Like Kevin said, I think he may drop the title at Mania, but he's definitely going into Mania with the championship. There's no one really at his level yet, I don't think, anyway. But I like Buddy.
Now, may I ask, what is the story? What is the build here between these two?
Well, really, it's just been building since the Rumble with the 4-way, and then I missed the last couple of episodes of 205 Live. But I mean, Akira Tozawa won a elimination match. Is that right? Can anyone back me up on this?
I think there was like a 4-way elimination match not that long ago on one of the NXT episodes that I didn't watch. No, sorry, NXT 205 episode I didn't watch.
Yeah.
And NXT episode. But yeah, I'm sure it was.
It branched over 2 shows, and the eliminations kept occurring on the NXT episode as well.
Written in the stars, a million miles away.
I am before.
History in the making.
Guys, we are 3 matches in. What a show it's been.
Once in a lifetime. Twice in a lifetime.
Thrice in a lifetime.
That reminds me of Mr. Burns in Simpsons when he's like, not once, but twice, but thrice. Anyway. He's playing baseball or some crap. This one is not going to be very hard to predict. This one is not going to be hard to predict at all. Ronda Rousey defending against Ruby Riott. I will say mine first. Ronda Rousey is 100% retaining the championship. Charlotte Flair is going to be at ringside. This is just all systems are going to Mania. It almost seems to the point where Ronda maybe shouldn't even be defending the championship at these pay-per-views because they've already announced the WrestleMania match. What is the point? Levi, start with you this time. Is there any way Ronda Rousey loses this match?
Yes. And those hashtag theories I was talking about before the show, this is one of them. And we've seen Ruby on Twitter be like, you're overlooking me, Ronda. You're overlooking me. And even Charlotte's kind of chimed in with that. She's like, if you make it to WrestleMania as champion, that sort of thing. So I feel like we might be surprised come Elimination Chamber. And it's like, okay, what do we do with the triple threat, the championship match, XYZ? perhaps we could see, because Charlotte is still technically a SmackDown superstar, correct?
Yes, technically.
So then you ask, what do we do with Asuka? We got to put her in that freaking battle royal, right? We can't have her in a main storyline. So we get Charlotte to get the belt off Asuka, and the triple threat for the SmackDown title is formed. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. But if we are to be predictable, then Ruby has no chance. So I don't know. I'm just saying.
Do you have any expectations of this match? Do you think it would be okay?
Oh, absolutely. I think Ruby is a solid hand, and Ronda is, she's Ronda. She's great. I think on its own, it's a great match. I just think that there's going to be some shenanigans afoot once again, because nothing is going to be resolved here. This is all road to WrestleMania. I would say, apart from the women's tag title chamber match, nothing is going to be resolved.
Yeah. Kevin, what's your kind of thoughts on this? Are you with me? Do you see Levi's point? What's the kind of go with you?
I think I'm more so with you, Josh. I just feel like they've already invested just way too much time in building up the WrestleMania main event to have Ruby shock the world here. I wouldn't mind it. I would actually love it. I love Ruby Riott. I think she's fantastic. It's just Ronda's going to WrestleMania. She's going to main event, and the easiest way for her to do that is just to hold the Raw Women's title through this pay-per-view. I personally don't get why she needs to defend it here. I don't know why they have this pay-per-view at all. Frankly,
we went into that the last episode. Monday.
I think Rousey retains. I think it'll be a good match though. And with the I don't know if you'll have the Riot Squad at ringside since they have their own match that we'll talk about in just a little bit. But I think Ruby's going to show a lot of people that she's very, very good at what she does.
Yeah, Ruby is just kind of really underrated, really underappreciated. Ruby's really good. Fowl, what's your take on this one? Do you agree that Ruby Riott is kind of underappreciated, and do you think she has any chance of winning this weekend?
I think that Ruby Riott is a great wrestler. Yeah, she's a great female talent that unfortunately kind of got lost in because the Riot Squad have kind of become a bit of a job squad unto themselves. Like, they are jobbers to the stars. They lose matches against against wrestlers, all wrestlers, and it's weird to have Ruby in this match, but at the same time, it kind of goes to show how much she's kind of improved. I think she's going to have a great match against Ronda. I think the problem is now that you've got tag teams involved, you're taking away a lot of what would be easy fodder for someone like Rousey. So you're getting her against decent wrestlers. Now, in regards to the match, Ronda's obviously retaining. That would be stupid for her not to have it. I've been reading reports about how they said that Vince, I think it was JR, said that Vince wouldn't let this be a women's main event unless Ronda was in the main event. I totally agree with that, because people are going to watch. This is the big celebrity that has improved massively over the time that she's been there. And it is a bit of a waste of a match. It doesn't need to happen. But then at the same time, we complain about Lesnar not being there. At least she's there retaining actually defending the championship every goddamn month. Even if they're not pretty every time, they're good matches for someone who's had how many matches, really? Probably 40? Maybe 50 at this point, including house shows and stuff. It's not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah.
And I think the one thing is, though, it is weird to have her up against Ruby Riott. And I think that the Riot Squad will be at ringside and they'll try and do it, and she'll do some triple maneuver on them.
Probably. I mean, this kind of begs a question for all of you, but Ronda Rousey's nearly a year since she had her first match at WrestleMania last year. I'll kind of go around the board, but Levi, what do you think of Ronda Rousey when she first began at WrestleMania to what you think now? Is your opinion the same? Is it different? Are you a fan? Are you not? What's the kind of take on Ronda?
First of all, shout out to my co-host at Ruthless Pod, Kyle. Kyle, if you're listening, shout out. I bring you up because I remember watching her debut with Kurt versus Triple H and Stephanie last year, and I was amazed. I was like, whoa. Because that was her in-ring debut, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not only did she do good, she did great, in my opinion. And Kyle and I were talking about it, and he was like, oh, man, she was just awful. And, like, I don't think she was that good. I said, did we watch the same match? And later on, because he was at, like, a get-together. I was by myself. So, you know, when you're with your dudes, you know, you start talking and you lose concentration on the match and stuff. And so I said, go back and watch that. And so the next day he comes back, he goes, oh, man, I was dead wrong. She was amazing. And I'm just like, yeah. And so, you know, there's always been that parallel to Kurt Angle. And I think that's fair, just because, you know, she can sell, she can work. She's not nearly as good as a promo as Kurt was and is, but that's okay. You don't always need to be a good promo if your other assets can back that up.
Yeah.
You know, she can sell, she can work. Her freaking angry face is just something to behold all the time. So I think she's amazing. I think she's had a heck of a rookie year. And I know there was a rumor from old Davey Boy that she's leaving, but as far as I'm concerned, his report was maybe, kinda. I don't see her leaving after WrestleMania, so I think her second year in will be even better.
Fowl, we talk about rookie years in pro wrestling in WWE. Do you think Ronda's had one of the best rookie years there really is?
Phenomenal rookie year. Phenomenal. No pun intended. Like I think she did better than AJ's first year because AJ was already an established hand, an established name, an established talent. We all knew what he could do. It was, is Vince going to let him? That's what the whole point with the AJ was. For Ronda coming in as a fan and like hitting the ground running so fast. Yes, her promo work is, you know, it's not great, but I wouldn't even say that. That's unfair to subpar. Like, it's just, the thing is it's not her. It's her reaction to what happens. So when she's performing a promo and she doesn't get the reaction she's supposed to get, she takes that personally, and you can see it. And then she straight away goes into like shoot mode. Like, well, I don't care then. Well, fine. I don't even. I've lost my place because you were supposed to cheer right then. Oh, why didn't you cheer? I don't know why you didn't cheer. And that's her panicking because she's so good in the ring, but her promo is a little bit weak. Yeah. Other than that, that's something that you can learn. She needs to. And imagine every single person in the crowd not loving you when you love this business. Like, I think she would work as a heel, but personally that might not work for her. But as a rookie year, great rookie year.
Yeah, Kevin, Ronda is a very hot topic at the moment, just with the last maybe 3 to 4 weeks of her reactions that she's getting. A, do you think they're warranted? And B, what's your kind of deal with Ronda in her first year?
I really don't. The thing is, fans are, and I said this on our last show, you know, fans are, to quote the new Daniel Bryan, they're fickle, right? They will turn 100%. On you in a heartbeat. If they don't like something you're doing, they will turn on you so quick. And I think that's just what we've seen, is that their attention has drifted elsewhere, the fans have, to where Ronda's no longer like the golden girl that she was at WrestleMania. She hasn't, like, nothing has changed since then. I don't think she's gotten worse. I mean, if anything, obviously, I think she's gotten better in the ring. I think her promos have gotten better. They're still not great. They're not very good, but, you know, they're okay. And I think that the fans, honestly, I'm not crazy about them booing her, especially because WWE doesn't seem to be able to read that and turn her accordingly. Now, they have a problem doing that sometimes, I feel like, with talent. You know, if they're getting a different reaction than the one they're supposed to, just go with it. just feed into that reaction, and it'll be a lot easier for Ronda. If she's getting booed, it'd be easier for her to be a heel, because then she could play off that rather than try to, maintain her happy, nice facade. So that's my take on the boos. And my take on her personally, I like Ronda. I like her a lot. I think she's done incredible work. And again, it's been 1 year, less than 1 year, and she's already had so great matches. She's been champion for 6 months now. I think she's done terrifically for herself.
Yeah, Ronda's I was on Levi's page here at WrestleMania, because we didn't know what Ronda could do inside a wrestling ring. We really didn't have too much of an expectation. There was certainly hype behind it, but she exceeded expectations of anybody, I think. It was probably my favorite match of that Mania. It was one of the better matches of the year, just in terms of pure entertainment value, and it did its job. It entertained me. Ronda has done so much in 11 months that she's been in the company. So, I mean, I think she's had one of the better rookie years that there is. And the booing and stuff like that, okay, Becky is hot right now. There's just other things going on, and it's just, wrestling fans they are fickle. We've all been fickle before. It is what it is. I like Ronda. Ronda's had an incredible run. Moving on from Ronda Rousey, we got Bobby Lashley defending the Intercontinental Championship in a handicap match. He's along with Lio Rush taking on Finn Balor. Now, Finn can pin either one to become the Intercontinental Champion. Fowl, we'll start with you. Handicap matches for championships are not something that I'm that fond of. It works for the story. I understand what's kind of going on here. Who do you think walks away with the IC Championship?
Bobby Lashley, the ballad of Bobby Lashley, the sad, sad ballad of Bobby Lashley. Why is he champion? Why is he IC champion? Why? Because I'd have no idea. But in this particular match, I see Finn Balor losing. Reason, because why would he win? Because I've never seen any confidence in him before, and I feel really bad for Finn. I see this being a program going into WrestleMania, Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley. And I think that Lio Rush is going to be as much of an annoyance as he can, but that Bobby Lashley is going to win. And I think we might, if they're that bad, even see Lio Rush pin Finn Balor. I really think that it might happen. And that would be terrible. Yeah. Damn. Because I think that's why it's a handicap match. And that's why I think it is. Because maybe, I think at the moment we're seeing a lot of babyface, against, the odds and, kind of overcoming the odds. If he gets pinned at Elimination Chamber by Lio Rush, in Vince's mind, if he wins at WrestleMania, he's over again, I guess.
Yeah. Levi.
Yes.
Handicap matches for championships. Are you a fan of this, and what's kind of going in your mind with this match?
I would say my full opinion, but I feel like it's best expressed in song, okay? Oh, written in the stars, a million miles away, a message to the day. Oh. So, my opinion.
Dude, I love you. It's Valentine's Day. Will you be my Valentine, Levi?
Oh, of course. Of course I'll be
Kevin, we're witnessing a fall in love here on Wrestling Reverb.
I think my wife's going to be
Kevin, your thoughts on this love that is happening?
I found the greatest.
Valentine's Day here in the States, it just feels right. Honestly, we should have addressed this earlier. It's a day of love. It's a day of romance, and we've got it forming right here on our very own show. We're two lucky guys.
What a beautiful thing! I just my ears are just singing their own song right now. It was that gifted, Levi. Thank you for that.
That one's free. The next one will cost you.
Well,
But
that sponsorship from the WWE Network pays well, so you know.
And you can go
$9.99
right
a month.
now to www.com/WWE Network to sign up right now for $9.99. If you sign up right now, you'll get your first 3 months free. And that means you get WrestleMania for free, Fastlane. All is free for that 3-month period. So go
Michael
on right
Cole.
now with
Michael
promo
Cole, is
code
that you?
Wrestling
Michael.
Reverb. That's promo
What about
code
original
Wrestling
content?
Reverb for a free...
Oh,
with our
man.
new network show, Something Else to Wrestle Reverb. That's a brand new show. It's a video starring Kevin and Josh. You don't want to miss this. And right along with
That's
Fowl
a good
Original, where he just drives sporadically all throughout, America and New
Yes.
Zealand and wherever. He just travels all over the world, driving
I have a
sporadically.
hovercraft. I go over the sea.
Yeah, but it's unrelated. You don't use it.
Uh,
Now, no. I'll pull this back. My opinion on the handicap match. I'm a Bobby Lashley purist. I want nothing but the best for Bobby Lashley, and I hate that he's been saddled with subpar story since returning. Because that pop he got, no one can deny that pop he got when he came back.
That's true.
I think he's talented, and the man's in his 40s, and he looks like a freaking statue. He looks amazing. I don't hate this match. I don't hate the pairing with him and Lio Rush. I just think there's better for Bobby Lashley. I mean, the man beat Roman Reigns clean as a whistle. I mean, let's not forget. Let's not forget like his accomplishments. But that being said, Finn may come out IC champion. This is probably building towards a WrestleMania match. But it's hard to say. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, has anyone handed Bobby like just a clean loss in his current run?
I don't think so.
Maybe, but I'm not certain.
So Finn, this is probably building towards Finn bringing out the demon at WrestleMania for Bobby. That's my opinion.
Oh yeah, that could easily happen.
And that hands Bobby his loss.
I mean, yeah, there's really not a lot kind of going on in terms of the IC title other than this. It doesn't really seem like anyone else is fitting for it. Kevin, I know you have to follow Levi there, but do your best to follow that. What's your mindset going into this one?
I'm just really not into this one, and part of that is because I think Bobby Lashley will win. I think like it's been mentioned that I think they're setting up for Finn Balor to win the belt at WrestleMania. So I think 2-on-1. I don't think he's going to overcome the odds. I don't necessarily like having a handicap title match, but I get it for this story because Lio Rush has been such a thorn, and they want to set it up so it's very feasible that Finn pins Lio to win the belt. I just don't see it. I don't see that happening.
Yeah. First and foremost, I'd like to just state that as long as I see the big man's ass at Elimination Chamber, I'm fine.
Rikishi?
Bobby Lashley.
Oh, okay. I mean, I didn't want to see
Then go
his
for Bobby
either,
and
but,
Rikishi in tag team action.
Bob Kishi.
I don't even know what to say. Bobby Lashley is retaining in this one, in my view. Finn, so, Kevin, you know this, and anyone that's listened to the WrestleMania 35 card prediction show we did last week, I had a bit of a stab in the dark with WrestleMania 35, because I think it's going to be a multi-person match. I think it's going to be some kind of ladder match, and I think that Nia Jax is going to be in that match at WrestleMania. I know that a lot of people call me crazy for saying that, but just I think WWE have been planting seeds for Nia Jax in this sense of they were doing a little bit of intergender stuff at the Royal Rumble, seeing where it kind of played. It gained some traction. It gained a little bit of negativity, but not much. They keep her around some things. I think she's just in the chamber for the sake of being in the chamber, which we'll get to in a minute. But I think that Nia Jax is being set up to maybe not win the IC Championship, but be in the match. So I think there's going to be some kind of multi-man match. But I don't see Finn winning here. In that regard, I see Bobby Lashley and Leo kind of doing something. But that being said, it almost is to the point where it's a handicap match and, the babyface overcomes the odds kind of deal. But I think Bobby will win. Do you all kind of agree that this match... you're not really expecting a lot in terms of whether this match could be great, but I don't know. It will be okay, I guess.
I think maybe Finn could carry Bobby to a good match, and like that. You know what? I say that seriously. This could be a good thing for Bobby. It's not going to be a good thing for Finn, but it could maybe show a little bit of more promise in Vince's eyes.
Yeah. I don't rate Bobby Lashley highly, but I don't think he's terrible by any means. But Finn is better than him. But Lashley, he only just got the championship like a month ago, not even. So it was probably about a month ago now. I forget, but it'll be fine. It's not the match that's selling this pay-per-view. It's doing its job for what it needs to do. I guess we'll just move on to the chambers, I guess. We'll start with the women's tag team elimination chamber match to crown the first ever women's tag team champions. Before we get into the match and the said teams in the match, Kevin, I'll start with you. We've had many discussions and many debates about the women's tag team championships. What's your kind of deal? Taking the match aside, are you excited for women's tag team championships?
I am. I definitely am. This is a groundbreaking moment. Really cool. Yeah, I think the timing of it would be better. I personally think this is a moment that needs to be paid off at WrestleMania rather than Elimination. I know they have to sell this pay-per-view, and the best way to sell it is to put something big on it, like the tag team titles. I just feel like this is a moment that is a WrestleMania-worthy moment. So I'm excited about the match. I'm excited about the titles. I'm excited about the match. I don't know if it's going to be good or not. We've only ever had like one tag team elimination chamber match, and it wasn't that great as far as I can remember. But I think it was Fowl that said that he really. I also really liked last year's women's chamber, and I think.
Oh yeah, totally.
I think they know what they're doing in there, so I think they could make it a very good match.
Yeah, it could be really good. Fowl, what's your kind of deal with taking the match aside? Women's tag team championships. Are you keen on the idea?
I'd just like to say one thing, and hopefully this will translate correctly. I'd do anything for the women's tag team chamber match, but I wouldn't buy the WWE Network for $9.99. But you inspired me, Levi. You inspired me to pull my guitar out.
Let's do it.
I'm really excited.
I feel like I just got serenaded.
I try. It's Valentine's Day, everyone.
Valentine's Day?
Oh my god!
When you thought it was safe to go back onto Tinder. Sorry, let me rephrase that. When you thought it was safe to go back onto Grindr. But,
oh no.
But yeah, I'm really excited for the women's tag team title match. Really, really excited. Because last year's women's title match was really, really good. Like women's elimination chamber match. Crowning a new tag team title. I just hope that they don't put down the stupid like pillows and stuff. Like, you know what they did for the last year's? They put some weird like matting down everywhere to make the elimination chamber more, I don't know, feminine or something. But like, it was weird, and I'm really excited to see it. I'm hoping that Boss and Hood Connection come out winners, and yeah, excited.
Levi, your take on women's tag team championships. Now you have to follow that, so good luck.
Oh, follow that? Okay, well, if it's a challenge, I wasn't going to do nothing, but here we go. I'm not that ghost girl who undercover body something and I'm breaking all the faces and something. I'm not a ghost girl. Anyway, that's enough of that.
Favorite show ever.
I mean, when I get challenged, I got to go for it now. So, my opinion, when Fowl said pillows, I was like, is this the Fulfill Your Fantasy Elimination Chamber? I wasn't quite sure. But I was like, oh, yeah.
Do we miss Taboo Tuesday?
I mean, there was an extreme elimination chamber, so you never know. You know, you see Alexa Bliss without a shirt on TV, and you say, the Ruthless Aggression era is back. Kinga. Anyway, so yeah, just like the new chamber. I think Sasha and Bailey come out of this champions. I don't really see a case for any other team in this match. I think at this point, Nia Jax is just there to play a foil. She's there to kind of hinder the baby faces, but ultimately not go over. Whether that is just due to how the story's written or she has legit heat for her performance in the past year. That's not for me to say. I don't know. I'm just a speculator. But that being said, I just don't see them coming out. Anyone else coming out champions other than Sasha and Bailey.
Okay, first and foremost, Kevin and I have stated, I think a few times now, Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, we don't want Sasha and Bailey to win this match. We don't.
Really?
We don't.
Who's winning?
Well, I mean, Kevin, first, I'll answer that in a minute, but you agree with me on Sasha and Bailey, yes?
Yeah, I do.
I
really just,
yeah.
It's just too obvious. I think they're gonna win.
Me too.
I've pretty much come to grips with that. I don't hate it, but I just would like to see someone else, and maybe Bailey and Sasha get their win at WrestleMania.
I agree completely. I do think they're gonna win. They're in the spot from number one now. I just think it's just a very predictable outcome that I've said from the start that I am one hell of an advocate for these ladies doing what they've done, and man, I just love women in the business, but I've never been a fan of tag team wrestling, so this doesn't strike me that much, but I do think it's a big deal that they're getting it, and it's, you know, just the next step for whatever they're getting to, but I don't want Sasha and Bailey to win this match, and I'm fans of both ladies, but I want someone else. Why can't Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville or the Riot Squad? Or, why can't this be iconic? I mean, listen, like, it's just there's teams that are more, I just think they're, Sasha and Bailey, to me, while they have been a team for a while, they're better separate. That, to me, doesn't scream tag team. A tag team is someone that is meant to be better together, where if they're separated, they're not going to shine. The Iconics are that. The Riot Squad, I think, to a certain degree, are that. That is a team to me. Fowl, who do you think is getting this one? Do you still stand by that Sasha and Bayley are walking out with this one?
Yeah, I totally. I think that they need to win this match. Not being able to do anything else, and I guess it would be a nice way to kind of, if they're going to do it, the Four Horsemen storyline, having them hold that gold, maybe Becky and Charlotte hold the other gold, they hold all the gold. It's a story in itself, and you know they've been playing that Sasha injury a lot on Raw this week as well, so it would overcome any odds.
Yeah, I mean, I know where they're going. They've from number one, Sasha's been injured and stuff like that. I can see exactly how this match is going to go. I have to bring up with everybody. I know Levi has his opinions on one Nia Jax. So let's start with Nia Jax.
She's not like most girls.
She isn't like most girls, Levi. What is your take on Nia Jax? I'm giving you this chance just go for it. I know you have your opinion on the woman.
Well, I'm not gonna just sit here and bury her. Now, I will say when she just destroyed Becky's face, I was pretty upset because you hate to see one wrestler be so reckless with another wrestler, regardless of gender or whatever. And since then, there's speculation that she's injured Mustafa Ali. That I'm not gonna just come out and say like, oh, she did for sure, but there's speculation. So like the list is still ongoing. I would just love to see her get some more training in. I think she came up way before she was ready. I don't think she has a lot to offer in terms of putting together a good match, but I think she has good traits about her. I think that she can carry a good promo. I think that she can talk on the mic. She has a good presence. And she has a good look. But her, in the words of Bruce Pritchard, that darn bell had to ring, and it's just I want more. And what really sets me off is how she gets on Twitter and it's pretty much, it's just tantamount to, you bunch of smart marks, I got heat, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, you're not even owning up to what you've done. And, man, it's just like, I'm not against liking you. I'm not against being for you. But my gosh, like, be humble, in the words of Kendrick Lamar. Like, sit down. So that's just kind of my take on it. I don't want to hate her. I mean, I don't hate her. Like, I don't hate any wrestler. Because this is just sports entertainment after all. But, like, my gosh, man. Like, get some more training.
I get that.
But whatever.
I get that. Kevin, what's your opinion on Nia Jax?
I mean, I think Levi got pretty much everything out that I would also, like a sentiment that I would also share. I don't like her. I don't like she could be reckless. It wasn't just Becky. She's injured others in the past. And I just don't think she really, besides her presence, which that's a good point. She has a great presence about her. That's really all she brings to the table, in my opinion. And if that's the case, that's not a professional wrestler.
Yeah. I mean, Fowl, what would you like to add on Nia Jax here?
Like, I understand where she, like, I understand why she's where she is. She has a great look. She's a great enforcer. I think she's a great enforcer. If she was used in that way, she'd be fine. The stuff she was doing with Bliss, like, it was fine. But, like, as on her own, she definitely does she needs more training. She needs more time to understand. Like, she would do amazingly in NXT. She would, as the monster heel in NXT, in the women's division, I think she'd be great. And I think that she'd have the kind of training from people who are learning about the same level that she is now, because she's been thrust into a lot of this. The whole face breaker thing, she played it well, but yeah, like as Levi said, she played it kind of like, yeah, I did that on purpose, and yeah, I swerved you. No, like, you did something stupid, and now the social media department have told you to play it up. That's what's happened, and that was it.
100%.
Like,
Yeah,
and so now she's in a weird position where she's kind of over for a mistake that nobody wanted to happen, and she's in the like, the rearview mirror. No one cares.
yeah. No,
And yeah, she's injuring people left, right, and center.
And let's be real, she's saddled with a partner that is just not over in Tamina.
Yep.
So that's doing her no favors.
I mean, Tamina to me has what, she's been there for quite some time now. It'd be like 8 years, 9 years. And can you name one moment of Tamina where she's been fantastic?
Tamina. I just wanted to say that. Sorry.
I think Tamina having the surname Snooker has been the worst thing that ever happened to her. That's all that happened. And I think
it was a benefit, though. It was a benefit until it didn't become one, you know?
Yeah.
So now she's got nothing.
And when she was being pushed with her dad, like, she looked all right. Like, she looked like she was caring and she was trying to work hard, and then that was it. All that happened. Obviously, it took a toll on her. Of course it did. But then that's it. No one ever trusted her to do anything.
And she does a really bad Superfly splash. Like, it's not good. It doesn't ever
It
look
used
good.
to be.
Do you think it did? I don't ever recall her doing it well.
When she started out, she could really get up there and do it, but she slowed down. I mean, she's in her 40s. She's only slowing down. And it's not to say she doesn't have it in her, but she doesn't have it right now, which is the most essential part.
She's almost the opposite of over. Like, I don't mean that in like a horrible sense. I just mean that, like,
I do. You suck, Tamina.
I hit your face.
I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what. What really did it for me was that promo on SmackDown a year or so ago, where she just repeated what Charlotte said. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't, but I watching the promo that she did with Nia Jax backstage, leading up to this chamber. It was like her just kind of repeating and Nia Jax just interrupting her. So, I mean, I can believe it.
Yeah, what happened was there was some sort of like multi-woman feud on SmackDown with Charlotte and Becky and all the, like, Naomi, all these people. And Charlotte had said something to maybe it was Alexa Bliss. I forget who it was. No. It had to be Carmella. I forget. Anyway, she said something like, "Hey, Carmella, nice face, loser," or whatever she said. And Tamina literally gets on the mic and says the exact same thing. She goes, "Hey, no, it was Ellsworth they were talking about." She goes, "Hey, Ellsworth, you ain't got no chin, stupid dummy." And everyone laughs. And she goes, "Hey, Ellsworth, nice chin." And the crowd becomes dead. It's like, are you serious?
Like, Tamina Snooker could take the charisma out of a room by walking into it. I've seen that, like, in so many segments. It's like she comes in and everyone's a bit like, oh. Everyone just automatically just gets sad. It's weird.
The life gets sucked out of the room.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Poor Tamina.
I know.
Just
Hey, no one asked her to perform. She keeps doing it. Poor us.
Kevin, help me. Kevin, please help me.
He's got
The
a
life
point.
has been
Like,
sucked
you know,
out of Kevin. We just simply talking about Tamina has sucked the life out of Kevin. R.I.P. Kevin.
no, honestly, there might not be a superstar in the 13 years I've been watching wrestling. There probably hasn't been a superstar that has just like that literally just sucks the life out of me quite like Tamina.
Cheers, Kev. Thank you very much for taking the reins on that one.
I didn't care when she debuted, and that was like 9 years ago. Why do I care now that she's here?
Because she's with
Obviously,
Nia
no one
Jax. Hello. They're
Oh,
both
yeah.
not
That sucks
like
for
most
Nia. That
girls.
brings Nia down so far.
I mean,
It's-
I guess we're all in agreement
the push
that
breaker.
I just guess we're
The push breaker. Yes. That is exactly Tamina. Oh my gosh.
I guess we're all in agreement that Tamina Snooker is going over this weekend at Elimination Chamber. Is that right?
She is the tag team champions.
Oh God! Imagine that promo she would cut as the tag team champions.
Oh, hey, can I reenact it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Oh, that's Nia Jax. She's entering the ring, and now. Oh, wait, it's silent. It must be Tamina. Hey, I'm Nia Jax. Listen to my friend Tamina talk about the championship. My name is Tamina. Cricket. I am tag team champion. Cricket. I am good at wrestling and not bad. Hit the music. End of promo.
Turn tape over.
2 times, please rewind.
Sounds like a Slammy Award-winning promo.
Damn. I mean,
How did I do?
I mean, that was 10 out of 10. Spot on, Tamina. I thought it was her. Are you sure you're not friends with her right now? And that was Tamina.
All I know for sure is that I'm not like most girls. That's all I know.
That's certainly true. Let's move on to the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber match, and I like to call this Daniel Bryan and the Boys. Not really. Daniel Bryan is I'm sorry. The new Daniel Bryan is the planet's champion. He has a belt made of hemp. It is a thing, and I like it a lot. That sounded sarcastic, but it didn't mean to come across sarcastic. Daniel Bryan, I know you're listening, so I love you. Man.
Jeez, who do you want to be champion, Tamina? Gee whiz, man.
Well, Tamina's going over in this match as well, so thanks for spoiling that for me. Jesus. Daniel
Tamina's
Bryan.
involved in every match. You just didn't notice.
I've got a list of matches on my phone here. It just says Tamina. Tamina. Remember that was their song? Man, that was shit. Brian, the SmackDown side of things with Daniel Bryan, he's doing good things. He's defending against 5 Tamina Snookers, and it's going to be a 50-star classic from Dave Meltzer because, I mean, it has Tamina in it. And that's what
By God, it's Tamina Mania!
Tamina God!
The audience, it's Tamina! The wrestlers, Tamina! The announcers, Tamina. All hail the Tamina. I'll stop now.
I mean, I think I'm going to call this podcast, it'll be, like, episode whatever, and it'll just be called Tamina. And I think the downloads will go literally into negatives if I called it that.
People will be handing it back.
Nope, it would be 0 because it gets no reaction.
Oh.
Alright, I'm just gonna,
We're just burying Tamina, I'm sorry.
sorry, Tamina, who's also
She
listening.
doesn't need any more. She doesn't need any more.
Get to the first podcast.
I came here to bury Fowl and it just turned into Tamina. I don't know how this happened.
Can't help it. She's already dead.
Oh man, poor Tamina when they're listening to this out the back, because I know they do, they always tell me. Tamina will just be sitting there like, what have I done wrong? And we're telling her she's done everything wrong, which is not a great...
Pretty much.
But, Kevin...
No one will know because the expressionless face will not show anything. She'll just be sitting back there, just going,
Yeah, well, I mean, Kevin, help and take control of this match. Elimination Chamber, Daniel Bryan defending against AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, and not Mustafa Ali. It is Kofi Kingston now. Just say words and Go for it, Kev.
All right. So we got six of the top guys on SmackDown. Like you said, Bryan, Styles, Hardy, Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, and Kofi Kingston. Last minute replacement. Mustafa Ali can't go. We stuck Kofi Kingston in there. He had one hell of a match on SmackDown this past Tuesday. Went over an hour in that gauntlet.
Yes,
pinned Daniel Bryan, pinned Jeff Hardy. I believe he pinned Samoa Joe. He pinned Samoa Joe too.
Yep.
That's insane. I just wanted to shout out Kofi Kingston because that is
applause for Kofi Kingston. My God, like, damn, good stuff.
I was
Boom brats all around.
Yes.
But yeah, okay, I'll start here. I just don't see Daniel Bryan losing the belt here. I just don't know why he would lose it on like this show. You know, I don't think he's gonna lose it for a while. Frankly, I think he's doing such good work with the championship right now that it would be a shame to take the belt off him, even though you have in this match so many capable competitors. Plus, outside this match, you have Andrade, you have Rey Mysterio. SmackDown's stacked, basically, is what I'm saying. But I don't see Bryan losing here. I think he holds on to the hemp and wood belt for a little while. You have to remember he's got Eric Rowan lurking around. I know that the Elimination Chamber is supposed to be, they're locked inside. No one gets in. Everybody can get into that thing, though. I don't think it's that hard. Everyone gets inside the Elimination Chamber at some point. So I have a feeling he's going to play a role in this match, Eric Rowan.
Yeah.
How about you, Levi?
Me, I would say I side more with you, actually, Kevin, because as much as I would love to see Kofi win, and as much as they have pushed him this past week on SmackDown, I don't think we're to the point where Kofi is going to get a run yet. We could be swerved. I honestly think we're going to be surprised at this pay-per-view, just because on paper the bar looks so low. We could be surprised. But yeah, I don't really see Daniel Bryan losing the belt here. If he does, honestly, he could afford a loss. And he has put guys over like Mustafa Ali and Kofi recently. He has put those guys over. And he's still over as the top heel on SmackDown. So I don't think he necessarily needs the belt, but it adds to him right now. And the question is whether or not the creative at SmackDown see it the same way. Meaning, should he keep the title? Does he need to keep the title? X, Y, Z. So yeah, that's kind of how I see it. Daniel Bryan comes out champion.
Yeah. Okay. Fowl, we'll get to you in a minute. Don't worry. We haven't forgot about you. You're the main event here. Come on.
Don't worry. I got something ready.
I forgot about him already.
I actually muted Fowl at the start of this, so we've just been talking to nothing. People are like going on about Daniel Bryan on the internet about how he loses and stuff like this. To me, Daniel Bryan is like a traditional heel. He loses when it necessarily doesn't matter, and he wins when it does. I think that to me is how a lot more heels should be booked. I think anyway, and Bryan is just a perfect heel in this way of he's not edgy, he's not cool, he's just better than us. He claims that he is better in every sense of the word. And I just think that's something to be stated. Fowl, it's your turn now. Go ahead, say what you want, because I feel like you have something for this. I feel like you have a plan here.
I certainly do. I feel like Poochie there. I must go back to my home planet. I've actually got something ready. I prepared something. So hopefully this will work. Daniel Bryan. The winner takes it all. Daniel Bryan standing small. Besides the victory, the Straight Veg Society. So I think, I'm coining that tonight. It's mine. I own it. So as part of the Straight... Thanks. It's count it. It's mine. But Straight Veg Society, I think, and this is my theory, that we're going to get to see and someone else turn up and join the Straight Veg Society, because it truly is like a really, really good modern retelling of the Straight Edge Society gimmick storyline with CM Punk, and it's a heel that thinks they're better than us. They have legitimate reasons why they're better than us. They don't eat meat, so obviously that's a good reason. And the whole like hemp title, I love it. It's just taking things away from us and kind of putting that mirror up to us. So, and I love heels that do that truth in the heelery. And so I want Daniel Bryan to win this, and I hope that he does. But Kofi Kingston, though, he's put up a goddamn showing. That's words.
That
click, boom.
Like, Brian has been very, very great in this. Since he turned back in November, he's just shooting for the stars in terms of he's just only going up. I don't really see him losing. It wouldn't make a lot of sense to me for him to lose. I think he should probably head into the biggest pay-per-view of the year, Fastlane, with the championship. So, I mean, Brian should retain here, but hey, they could pull one out and have a surprise. It wouldn't really, like, out of all of the people in the match, there's no necessary bad choice, I don't think. They're all talented enough, but it would be a bit of a surprise if Brian lost. He's got Rowan. Fowl mentioned it might be someone else. I mean, it would only add stock to Brian, so it's not out of the question at all. As we kind of, obviously, we've gone through all of the matches, do you think that this pay-per-view is going to be good? Kevin, start with you. Do you think it's going to be alright?
Yeah, I think it'll be okay. You know, you have the two chamber matches are going to be fun because the chamber matches are always fun, you know? It's a good gimmick, you know? It's always pretty interesting to watch. And I think that, you know, just looking at the card, the Cruiserweight should be good. The Miz and McMahon versus the Usos could surprise you. Strowman and Corbin could surprise you. There's a lot of matches that like don't look great on paper here, but could be something. It could maybe surprise you a little bit. So I think that while the floor here is pretty low for this pay-per-view, I think that this could sneak up on you and be pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. Levi, what do you know, you've said many times that this pay-per-view could surprise us. Do you still stand by that after this incredible preview of what is to come?
Sure. I kind of echo that sentiment. However, we know that, and if you hear a weird noise, dog's licking herself in the background, so ignore that.
Nice.
I'm sorry, Levi. You told me that you wouldn't tell anyone.
No, but just kind of echoing that sentiment. I feel like this has potential to be great. But then again, I feel like any WWE pay-per-view has potential to be great. WWE's kind of its worst enemy in that sort of sense. Because it's kind of like when we watch a takeover. We know it's going to be good. We know that they have their formula for success. But whereas when we see the WWE counterpart, we kind of have that expectation that, it's going to be the same old. So I feel like this has a lot of potential to be good because of it leading to WrestleMania. If it wasn't, then I'd be like, it's kind of crap. I think the chamber match is going to be outstanding. Both of them, for that matter. But as far as like the mid card and the upper card, it has potential. So we will see. We will see.
Fowl, echo that sentiment, or do you not really have too much of an expectation for this whole show, or do you think it's going to surprise people? What's your mind leading at? That didn't make any sense.
And yeah, don't worry, it doesn't make any sense in here, Mumbai, anyway. But like, you don't want to join in here. Like, it's this particular. What I do like about all the pay-per-view so far is the match cards have been really underwhelming, but the matches have been amazing, and I think that, especially in the atmosphere that we're at, I think that a lot of wrestlers may want to put on their best show for potentially moving to another show sometime. And so I think we're going to see some stellar matches. Chamber matches, totally agree. They're going to be great. They always are. But I think we might see some surprises. I actually, in a small way, think that Corbin versus Strowman could be a surprise good match. And I mean that seriously, because there's such low expectations.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes low expectations are a good thing because you can only go up. So, I mean, I think the show will be okay, like everyone's kind of said. The chamber matches will be good. I'm especially looking forward to the WWE Championship one. The women's tag team one will probably be really good as well, because Tamina's in it. So, yeah.
How could it be anything less than perfection?
I know. She's a...
Guaranteed 5 stars.
Just, wow. She's
Minus
just,
5 stars.
Alright, guys. I want to thank both of you, and of course Kevin, but he's always here, so I don't need to thank him for shit.
Oh my god.
that was like a whole, okay, yeah, do you always want to sit in the nice chair? Yeah, because you're visitors. Oh, he's always here. He's family, don't worry about it.
The surprise Kevin burial. Wow.
Did I just turn? Did I do that to you, Kevin? I'm sorry. We just got our WrestleMania match going. I'm just, I'm always thinking ahead.
You sold out. Can I call an audible real quick?
Go for it.
Is that okay? I just really want your guys' opinion on this. Before we started recording, a talent was announced for StarCast 2. None other than The Undertaker.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
What do y'all think?
I mean, it's certainly... It wasn't something I was expecting, because Undertaker is just synonymous with WWE. He's a WWE character. He's a WWE talent. He has been for as long as all of us can remember. It was certainly... My initial thought was like, whoa, okay. For one, it's a huge get for them. A huge get. There's not really too many people bigger than The Undertaker. He is one of the greatest, if not the greatest performers ever. So my initial reaction was surprised. I don't know what everyone else's deal is, but...
I think that he's really the StarCast thing. I can see that this is Taker's year, this year and next year of cashing in. Like, he's dropped the WWE kind of connections, and I like it, and I love that he's going to StarCast because it makes the wrestling world crazy again, and it's great. Like the biggest stalwart kind of going to WCW. Like, Undertaker will be there next to such names as Hornswoggle. It's going to be amazing. Sorry, Swoggle.
Yeah, no, it's definitely weird for me. Just, you grow up watching The Undertaker. He's always been the WWE guy. And here he is at StarCast alongside Hornswoggle. Oh, it's crazy. I also do think it's a good thing for wrestling because, like you said, Fowl, it gets people talking. And it gets people wondering what exactly is going to happen. And I think that element of surprise and that element of unpredictability is so important in wrestling.
Yeah. I mean, it was a surprise. I'm not at all mad. It's a huge thing. It's a huge, big deal. While we're on the topic, is everyone kind of on the excitement level I am for Double or Nothing? Because I'm really excited about all of this. It's just a fun time to watch wrestling, really.
it's a really fun time to be a wrestling fan right now. I think that the stuff that we're seeing, like something like Taker, like like people from your age bracket at the moment, Josh, like you weren't. I was at the tail end of like Monday Night Wars and stuff, and you were getting to see that again. Like we're getting to see two companies, or several companies vying for talent. It's not just one place anymore.
Yeah, it's
great.
It's just better for the industry as a whole. I'm certainly going to be watching Double or Nothing. All of you, Kevin, you will be, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah. It's more wrestling to watch. It's more wrestling to consume. That's never a bad thing. And competition is going to create some really good stuff. I think everyone's going to have to raise their game a little bit now.
Yeah. Levi, are you on that kind of sentiment?
No, screw A and W root beer. WWE all the way. No, just playing. Of course, I think this is a game changer right here. When they sold out in 4 minutes, mind you, that was really telling to me because it's a 16,000 seat venue. But like Jim Ross used to say this all the time: the conscience of the WWE, the Undertaker. This man is WWE thick and thin. And for him to make this appearance is no small feat. I read somewhere that he's $25,000 per appearance. Like, good gosh, like that's a lot of working man's yearly salary right there. I think this is huge for AEW. I almost called them A&W again. Good gosh. I think this is huge for them, and it shows what kind of stroke they have. That they can just get the Undertaker amongst other legends such as Sting, Ric Flair, and so on and so forth. This is huge.
Yeah, it's just a big deal. It's not really much else to say other than that. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming on, especially Kevin, obviously.
That's right.
Who needs to thank Kevin? Come on.
Turn the lights out when you leave.
You're running up the bill, Kevin.
Oh my god.
This has been quite the time. It's certainly been a preview show of some damn kind. I don't know if it's the best, if it's the worst, or if it's just the Tamina experience, but it is an experience.
Oh gosh.
This has been a real joy, honestly. Kevin, I don't know if you've been sticking to the poll there, but you've seen the votes so far for Reverb Rewind next week. I think we got a bit of an inkling of where we're going. The poll's still open for another 3 days, but we're very excited for that. We've talked about it many times. It's finally happening. Kevin, what is your kind of... I'll ask you this now. What was your experience with this whole podcast?
I feel like I should have brought a musical instrument of some sort. Yeah. I didn't get that memo that everyone was going to be playing guitar. But...
I mean, I should have brought my piano in here. That's the only thing I know how to play. I don't know how to play the guitar, but man, I could have done something.
I don't know how to play anything, so it wouldn't work out anyway. But oh my god, this was a blast. This was quite different than what I expect. I don't know what I expected, to be honest.
Me either.
But we got a little bit of Tamina talk. We got a little bit of previewing in, a few laughs. You had everything you could possibly want in a nice little 90-minute package. Over 90 minutes, but still. Yeah, this is a great time. Levi, Fowl, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. We'd love to have you back sometime.
Yeah.
Anytime.
I'll brush up on my guitar skills so we can have a proper duet or trio.
I'll be ready for it next time. I was a bit like, damn, I had to put you on mute to tune my guitar and remember how to play guitar. I had to I was like, that's why you went on mute.
Alrighty, guys, this is your chance to plug away. Fowl, where can we find you? What's coming up for you? This is your minute of fame. Do what you do.
Well, first of all, thank you very much, Josh. Thank you very much, Kevin, for having me on the show. What I wanted to do, first of all, was drop an exclusive. Exclusively dropping now, and it will be dropping on Twitter as well. We have another member of the Hot Take Roundtable. That's this Sunday for Elimination Chamber. I've already announced Smiley Boo-Boo. And tonight, announcing Mr. Josh from Wrestling Reverb, who will be joining me on that show.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's him. And thank you very much, keeping it under wraps.
Of course.
But yeah. So I'll be joined by him, and also be joined by one more that's going to be announced tomorrow. And Levi, I might have some space for you now. Actually, I forgot about Levi. So drop me a DM, buddy boy.
I will.
Also, yeah, I will. I've forgotten you. I forgot about you. Now, also. I would like to say you can go to @Fowl_Original on Twitter. Follow me there. I do loads of stuff there. Also, you go to youtube.com/Fowl Original Wrestling. Search for the Fowl Original Podcast on all podcast places. I'm part of the Pulse Podcast Network. There is only one episode up right now, but there will be more soon. And thank you also to Levi. Thanks.
What the heck did I do?
I don't know. Or actually, also something that I said in the pre-chat. You can all thank Kevin Carroll for interviewing for the first actual pure interaction I had with someone from the wrestling community, and he interviewed me, and it's all his fault.
Sorry,
snap.
guys.
Congratulations, Kevin. Good job.
Kevin strikes again, back off.
That's a good callback though. Plug the interview, plug the blog, man.
It's all about the shilling, my friend.
Game.
Levi, what have you got going on? You got anything interesting going on over there? Where can we find you?
Yes, I am Levi, as aforementioned, from the Ruthless Aggression Podcast, where we critique the WWE through the Ruthless Aggression era pay-per-view by pay-per-view and have some friends and guests along the way. One in question, Fowl Original, looking to get him on ASAP when we have time for it. Kyle and I are on very different schedules, and we are definitely trying to work him into the show. We've seen Josh on the show before for our Ruthless Talk, and we got to get Kevin on there too. But it's a lot of fun. Kyle and myself, we met in Tennessee several years ago and bonded through our love of wrestling. And I just hit him up one day. I was like, hey, you want to start a podcast on the Ruthless Aggression?
Shout out
like,
to Kyle,
sure.
by the way. Shout out to Kyle. Great dude.
Yes. You can find him on Twitter @RuthlessPod Kyle. Freaking probably the funniest guy I know. But anyway, we critique the WWE. We just let out Survivor Series 2002, which has been our best performing episode yet, and I'm very proud of it. But yeah, subscribe, and you can hear on our show about Victoria going crazy. You can hear about FVU, the Big Show, how he blocked us, and I don't know why. Stuff like that. But Josh, I do have a question for you.
Yes.
You said for Reverb Rewind, is your show that you're going to review, is that Survivor Series 99?
Well, at the moment, that's winning the poll. It's not dominating, but it's definitely got a bit of a lead. But the polls are open till Tuesday, but it's looking that way.
Okay, well, I wanted to do a special performance in the Survivor Series echelon of things. So taking it back to Survivor Series 98. 'Cause it's a deadly game we play as we live our lives. It's a deadly game. What we say is out of minds. It's a deadly game. Play it now before the game is over. It's a deadly game. Anyway, okay, that's it. That's all you get. Those are free of charge. But yeah, I find this @RuthlessPod on Twitter. The end.
Kevin, again, you have to follow that. Where can we find you, and have you got anything exciting coming up? I'll only accept this in a musical performance, otherwise I'll cut you out of this podcast.
We take it over.
This is a spoken word performance.
No, William Shatner style. I like it.
Yes, yeah. Well, yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Kevin C Wrestling. You can find me online at thelastbloggerstanding.wordpress.com. I also contribute to Diva Dirt and The Chair Shot on a weekly basis, so if you check out those websites, both full of fantastic content, you'll see my stuff there too. As for me personally, what I'm working on a couple things. I mentioned this on our last episode. I've been dealing with some writer's block lately. So I don't have a schedule on when I'm going to be churning some stuff out, but I will have a Elimination Chamber preview blog up on Saturday or Sunday featuring some of the other guys from the last blog you're standing, some of my buddies. Then sometime in the future, in the coming days, I'll have my my Backyard Sports Royal Rumble online. I have to get back to it. I've been stuck on it, but I've been slowly but surely making progress on it. For those of you guys who don't know, Backyard Sports was like this huge phenomenon video game series that came out when I was a little kid.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right? Backyard baseball, backyard football, all of those. And I was just I played them all the time. I still play them. I have them. And I just noticed that there were 30 original characters in the game. And there's 30 entrants in the Royal Rumble. So why don't I just fire everything in a randomizer and see who comes out on top?
Clever. I like it.
That'll be coming out sometime, hopefully in the coming week or so. That's really all I've got to plug. Josh, plug yourself.
I'm usually just, I'm usually just here waiting for people to come on the show. I constantly just have recording, and it's like my diary, and
I live in the Wrestling Reverb. Quote from Josh.
And find me on Twitter. This podcast has sent me literally insane. My mind is now made of jelly. This is now Kevin's show.
It's all going to be different from here on out now.
I'm officially retiring. I have peaked. Yeah.
You had a big run.
I mean, yeah, it's been fun. I'm now Tamina Snuka's manager, and as you can imagine, that is a shitstorm. It's just
20% is zero. We're still 20%.
You know on Family Guy how they say like "shut up, Meg" all the time because she's just like this insignificant character.
Oh no!
Let's just start the "shut up Tamina" trend. Let's start it. Shut up, Tamina.
Doesn't she do that enough though for herself? Doesn't she shut up enough? She doesn't really say that.
No, she
much.
actually doesn't. No, she still says too much.
She could say less. That's for sure.
Yeah, find me on Twitter at Wrestling Reverb. I'm on Instagram at Wrestling Reverb. Go to my Facebook page. It's all Wrestling Reverb. You'll find it. You'll get stuff.
Wrestling 3-verb. I'm sorry.
Not once, not twice, but thrice. This has been a hell of an episode. Just, wow, I'm happy. Yep. I don't even know what to say. What a terrible outro. I mean, yeah, just this is how we're going now, and just please rate this podcast 5 stars. Do all the reviews you need to do. Find this anywhere you find podcasts. Say bye, Kevin.
Bye, Kevin.
Goodbye, everybody.
Boy, Kevin.
Listen to the podcast. Buy our merch.
Oh, yeah, buy our merch. Go buy our merch. Go to pulsepodcastnetwork.com. Go to the shop.
Hey, real talk. I'm getting me a t-shirt as soon as I get paid. I'm so excited.
Hell
I was
yeah.
like, they have merch. I'm wearing Reverb on my chest all day long.
Hell yeah, that's much appreciated. I love it.
You can also find me on prowrestlingtees.com/fowl.
I'm sorry, what was that, Fowl? You're breaking up. Yeah, all right. Well, that's the end of the episode, guys. I'll catch you guys.
Hey, I got your outro. Hey,
Don't be a turd. Get the reverb. Now, suckers.